Hello class. In this video we're going to look at lab 4344 where we continue to explore quadratic functions. All right, so we have scooters and an equation that will tell us the number of scooters in thousands sold each year in India, where T is the number of scooters since 1990. Right, so if I put in 0 for T, that would tell me the number of scooters sold in 1990. So for the vertical intercept, well, we know the vertical intercept is c, right? And ax squared plus bx plus c. Here we use t instead of x. The c is your vertical intercept. So I know 0, 943 or 943.51. But remember, this is in thousands, so it's 943,000 scooters. So the vertical intercept, if I plug in 0 for t, I end up with 943. So as an ordered pair, it's 0, 943.51. But remember, this is in thousands, so it's 943,000 5100 scooters. Okay. For part 2, use a numerical method to find the year when the number of scooters reaches 1 million. So remember, 1,000 in thousands is 1 million, right? So we're trying to figure out when does this n become 1 million. And remember, since we're talking about in thousands, we want to know when does n become 1,000. So what value of t, what value of time, how many years will have to be subbed in for time to get 1,000 scooters. So a quick way to do that would be take your graphing calculator and enter this equation into your graphing calculator. Press second and graph to see a table and scroll down. When does for how many years after 0 does it take to get to 1 million? So if you look, somewhere between years 4 and 5, we go from 983,000 to 1,302,000, right? So somewhere between year 4 and 5, we get to 1 million. And again, remember, 1,000 is equal to 1 million because we're in thousands. All right, so if I was going to express my answer on a test, I would just show 3 rows of my table, 4, 5, 6, and then the numbers that follow. And I said, it's like sometime in year 5, we get to this number of scooters, right? So really the answer is between 4 and 5, or you could say this is the first entry with the number over 1,000. Okay, so 5 is how many years after 1990? It's 5 years, so it's 1995. All right, so 5 is 95, 94, 96, and so on. Next, completely new problem. It says use a graphical method to solve the quadratic equation. So we can graph both sides of our equal sign, right? So graph both sides of this equation. So if I go to y equals and I clear, I can put in my 10x squared minus 9x minus 3. That's the left side of my equation. And the right side of my equation is the 6. So what we're trying to do is figure out or determine the value of x that's going to give me 6. Okay. So I'm going to press zoom and number 6 for standard window. That makes my window go 10 tick marks in every direction. Okay. So if I were to actually press the window right now, you would see my x min would be -10, my x max would be +10. My y min would be -10, my y max would be +10. So we want these 2 points. So I press second, trace, 5, enter, 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 and I find the point on the left. It's -0.6, 6. And to find the point on the right, I say second, trace, 5, enter only 2 times. When it says guess, move my cursor to the side, the point that we don't know, press enter. And this side is 1.5. So when you look, -0.6, 1.5 are my answers. Right? What value of x will give me 6? Well, if I put in -0.6 here and here, I'll come out with 6. If I put in 1.5 here and here, the value of y will be 6. Okay, so that's the solution to this equation. And then this was just a review. Multiply and simplify. So we distribute the 4x cubed to the x squared, to the 5x, to the 1, right? The -1, the -5x. And then we do the math, right? Remember the rule of exponents, we add the exponents. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20, right? So that's where this comes from. Number 5, we use FOIL, right? So the first terms are x times x is x squared. The outer terms would be x times 8 is 8x. The inner terms is negative 4 times x. And the last terms would be negative 4 times 8 is negative 32. Combine the 8 and the negative 4 to get 4. Right? We do FOIL one more time. And I won't go through all the steps, but again, it's right first, x times x, outer, inner, last. And then I guess the one thing they want you to recognize for problem 8 is don't try and distribute this 2. A lot of times I'll see students write t squared plus 6 squared, but really this is repeated multiplication, so you're going to write t plus 6 2 times, right? Multiplied 2 times, and then do your FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. And that's it for this lab. This was a short lab. Okay? Hopefully, if you have any questions, please send me an email or let me know. I think that should do it. Have a nice day.